you guys. So, welcome to Roundup Campaigns Part 1. So, Roundup campaigns are a huge opportunity for every nonprofit or foundation to be able to do some creative fundraising. So, we're going to talk about briefly in this video every stream of income that you should have as a nonprofit, and we are going to clearly go over the creative fundraising part. Okay, so if you are a nonprofit or a foundation, this is definitely a video that you want to watch and also share with other nonprofits, other foundations. Don't just get all the wealth of knowledge and don't share it. No, share it, because there's plenty of small businesses out there and major businesses out there that can help to fund the nonprofits that are doing all the great work. So let me start by saying, everybody that is managing a nonprofit, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing for the community. Every small thing that you are doing that feels like it's just a tiny thing, that it's not a big deal, it really is a big deal. Every time you help one person, it just creates a ripple effect. So no matter what your nonprofit is doing, at Business for Social Change, we want to tip our hat to you and say thank you. So I know this video is going to help you, and so I just encourage you to make sure you take notes. Of course, you can download this PDF wherever you found this. If you found it on YouTube, then it's inside of the description box where you can download the PDF for it. You can also email us and you can receive the PDF that way. Let me correct that. So you do have to access the link in the subscription or in the description box. I can't talk today. Access the link inside of the description box and you can get the PDF in exchange for your email, because we want to keep in contact with you. So give us your email address and we'll allow you to get this PDF with the further notes in it so that you can have it. So also, let me make sure that I'm going through all the stuff I'm supposed to do. You want to text the word consult, CONSULT, to the number 817-807-2873. I will pop it up there. So you can text the word consult with your name and email address to the number 817-807-2873. That's a real phone number with a real person. So text the word consult, and this is with your name and email address, and we will send you the information of how you can interview to become a Business for Social Change client, to become a Business for Social Change consultation client. We give over $20,000 in free consultation every single month in the form of grants. For grants that we receive, we pass it out to our clients. So sometimes it's more than 20,000, but most months it's around 20,000. So if you are interested in becoming a Business for Social Change client, then we encourage you to text the word consult with your name and email address. So let's jump right in. So successful stress-free fundraising requires you to think as if there is no box, because here's the kicker, you guys, there's no box. Okay. With your nonprofit, you want to make sure you know what the IRS guidelines are, what the regulations are, what your fundraising limits, how much money can you hold over, all of that. We have a Business for Social Change nonprofit specialist. Her name is LaShonda Durden, with Core Prize is the name of her company, and she is fabulous in everything that is nonprofit. And she definitely will be doing a lot of videos going live in our group and all of that. But you want to know what those guidelines are. But other than that, there's no box, you guys. So you really want to begin to think there is no box. I say this all the time in consultation. Let's stop putting ourselves, let's stop putting God, let's stop putting the divine beings that we are into a box. You are set up to give back to the community, and you are doing amazing things in the community, and you have a desire to do so much more. So stop thinking that there's a box. So there's 3 core streams of income that every nonprofit should have: creative fundraising, grants, and community donations. So in understanding what the creative fundraising is, that's the part that we're going to deal with today. Creative fundraising is actually a 2-part. There's 2 parts of creative fundraising. There's social enterprise, and there is roundup campaigns. Okay, that's the way I have it divided out. I have social enterprise and roundup campaigns, but there's also grants and there's also community donations. So you want to make sure that you have the creative fundraising component, you have the grants component, and you have the community donations component. Okay, but in this particular video, I'll do other videos for grants and for community donations, because even applying for grants and things like that, here's just a small tip on grants. You guys, the more you apply for, the more you'll receive. So I know it's like, oh, really? You know, some people apply for like 1 grant a year. No, it needs to be a part of your daily process, weekly process to shop for money. So you want to really have a team of people that's always submitting for grants. So, and if you apply, you know, you'll have a 10% conversion rate from what I'm seeing from my clients. If they apply to 100 grants, they get 10 of them. So if you apply to 300, you get 30. So you really putting a 1, 2, 3 grant funded system is what I call it. And I'm happy to teach it to you. 1, 2, 3 grant funded. It really is putting a system in place, putting the work in to put a system in place to apply for grants where it's not stressful. At Business for Social Change, we use this system. And that's the reason why we are able to give out $20,000 in consultation every month, to make it affordable for our clients to afford our consultation, because it's not cheap, but it's worth it, because we cover everything you need in business to become a business for social change. So community donations is setting up a donation program, and your donation program is all about your branding and your marketing. So we'll talk about that in the community donations video, you guys. I'll make sure I make that video as soon as possible. All about your branding and your marketing as a nonprofit. And then creative fundraising, that's what we're going to talk about today, a part of it. There's 2 parts to creative fundraising: social enterprise business, and creative fundraising is the second part. And we are going to talk about the roundup campaigns of creative fundraising today. So again, just so that I make sure that you guys know, you can text the word consult with your name and email address to 817-807-2873. And I'm getting a note slid to me that says if you text that word consult with your name and email address, they will email you automatically this packet for you to download. And it does have further notes and worksheets in it. So, because I'm just going over the general slides, but there's further resources. There's all different types of websites in there to help you understand everything that I'm telling you. So make sure you text the word consult. If you're already set up as a consultant client, this will be in your resources tab. Go into your client portal, and inside of your resources tab, you will see this video and the worksheets. Okay, so Operation Roundup. Let's go. Small changes that changes lives. Small changes that changes lives. You guys, I encourage you to use this wording, because it's small change, but it changes lives, because those small changes add up. It's not stressful. The beautiful thing about the Roundup campaign is it's not stressful on the patron to round up to the nearest dollar. If it's $1.50, it's 50 cents. So it's not stressful. And me personally, I don't know what it is about whole numbers, but I like to see $25 instead of $25.15. You know, like I prefer to see $26. I'll just go ahead and pay the difference. It's something about whole numbers, and I think a lot of people are like that. It's kind of crazy that we're like that, but it is a psychological thing, and it works for the nonprofit. So you're welcome. I encourage you, create a graphic like this. Create a graphic that matches your branding like this, and use it on your packets that you're going to send out to these small businesses. Okay. So small change that changes lives. So step one, the first thing that you're going to do is decide how much money you want to be able to do inside of your campaign. Okay. Inside of the Roundup campaign, let me get a picture off there so you can see it. Decide how much money you desire to raise within the Roundup campaign. I have a video that's on YouTube. It's also in your resources tab, you guys, that goes over the 6 steps of creation in the book Think and Grow Rich, chapter 2. The very first step is fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It is not sufficient to say, I just want plenty of money, and be definite as to the amount. The reason why this is the first step in your Roundup campaign, the reason why this is the first step, even for my clients, when I take them through their MSP and walking through your minimum standard of performance decision, the reason why this is the very first step is because we need to understand everything is spiritual first. Everything is spiritual first. Okay? It starts in the spirit before it comes to the natural. Ideas are spiritual. Thoughts are spiritual. All of these things that are not physically tangible, they're spiritual activity. So you need to, and decisions are spiritual, but everything starts with the spirit first. So you need to make the decision of how much money you want to raise in your Roundup campaign. That's the very first thing you need to do. And go through those 6 steps. That video is on YouTube. Go through the 6 steps. It's all spiritual. I give biblical base for it. For everybody that, y'all know I'm a Bible girl. I like scripture. I love scripture. I feel like the Bible stands for basic instructions before leading the earth, because all of us are called to be leaders when we are lovers of Christ. So, or followers of Christ. So you literally want to, you can go through there and watch that video. Make sure you go watch that video. It's super important. So first, decide how much money you want. Now, when you're making the decision, let me go back and also help you with this number too, to come up with that number. Let me not forget. So the way that I calculate it is I go off of my MSP. I don't just pull a number out of the sky. Oh, I just want $20,000. Now, let me be strategic about it. So if you go back and you look at the 3 core streams of income that your nonprofit needs, so let's say you put your nonprofit budget together and you need $100,000 to function for the year. If you take that $100,000 and you divide it by 3, that comes out to $33,333.33. That's my number, y'all. I love threes. I love threes. It represents the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So it lets me know the Holy Trinity always reminds me I'm never alone. And I love not being alone, right? I love being supported. So I love the number 3. It represents support and love for me. So 33,000. So creative fundraising needs to be responsible for $33,000, right? Creative fundraising needs to be responsible for $33,000. I know how I can show this to you guys. I'm going to show this to you right quick inside of here. I can come over here to the, this is how the template looks for, I'm just going to go to the welcome tab where I have some room. Okay, so this is how your template looks whenever you have the consultation portal. So let's just create our MSP right here. So let's say we need $100,000 for the year. Okay, we need $100,000 for the year, and we know we're going to have the streams of income for our nonprofit. So we know we need. And the streams of income, stream 1 is going to be our creative fundraising. Okay, and if we're dividing it by 3, we know that's going to be 33,000. $333.33. If we have $100,000 for the annual MSP, right? And then the second thing we're going to have is going to be grants. Thank you for auto-populating. I appreciate you, Google. And then the third is going to be grants. And then we know that our fourth is going to be community donations, right? So $33,333.33. So understanding that now, because creative fundraising has two components to it, I'm going to insert one tab below. Creative fundraising has two components to it. Insert another one below. And I'm going to make sure this is gray. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little anal about this stuff. That way it makes it easy to understand. So I'm going to make sure these are gray. All right. So for creative fundraising, the first part is the social enterprise component. And for that social enterprise component, I'm going to divide that 33,000 by 2. So it's going to come out to what? $16,666.67. So $16,666.67. So when it comes to my roundup campaign for the year, I know I need my minimum standard of performance, or the minimum goal of how much I want to raise for the year, is going to be $16,666.67. So that's the number that I'm going to determine of how much I want my roundup campaigns to make that year, right? So that's the goal that you can then give the information to the nonprofit, or to the, not the nonprofit, but to the for-profit that you're doing the roundup campaign with. Because this is something that's so important, and please write this down on your notes. This is so important. Make sure that you are clear about what your goals and what your focus is to every single business. And even when we start going over the MOU packet, make sure that you put it in the packet in bold letters on several of the pages, that our goal is to raise $16,000 this year, $20,000, you can round it up, $17,000 this year, whatever it is. You've already done the math, so you know that based on every stream of income, you know what every stream needs to do at a minimum in order to perform, to hit the amount of money that you need to function your nonprofit. And see, and even just giving an additional tip, you guys, that helps with grants. The number one reason why people are declined, why nonprofits are declined from receiving grants, is they are not clear about their budget. They don't understand how much money they need to function clearly. And so grantors don't feel comfortable giving their money from foundations and from nonprofits, and even from some for-profits, because the people are not clear on their budget. So you get really clear on the goals you have, and make sure that you express that very clearly in your MOU packet, in the memorandum of understanding packet that you're going to give to the for-profit businesses. So the step 2 is you need to get your branding in order. Get your branding in order. Inside of your consultation portal, there is a branding. You go over here and you see all this stuff. There's so many resources in here, but there's a branding checklist. So inside this branding checklist, you're going to go through everything you need to do to get your branding in order. Okay. Everything you need to get your branding in order is inside that branding checklist. So if you do not, if you're not a consultation client already, then you won't have that portal. You need to text the word consult with your name and email address to 817-807-2873. So you can go through the application process. It's not a really brutal process, but go through the application process of becoming a Business for Social Change client, so you can have that consultation portal that has all those resources in it, because it is the portal by itself is extremely valuable, and then having the consultation on top of it is powerful. So you want to get your branding in order. So that's a lot. Branding and marketing is the core part of fundraising, because it's how you build your trust in the community. It's how you build recognition in the community. Whoever gets the most attention makes the most money, right? So you want to make sure that you get your nonprofit brand in order and treat your nonprofit like it is a business. So make sure you go through that checklist and get your branding in order. Step 3, you want to make a list of all the businesses that you patronize. So you're going to make this list, and you're going to divide this list into 2 portions. You want to do small businesses that you can, a small business would be if you can get in contact with the owner. So even though it might be a real big grocery store, if the owner of the grocery store comes there every day, then that's considered a small business. And then also a larger business is one of the major brands that you're going to have to talk to either the marketing department or the philanthropic department. So philanthropy department or their marketing department, you're going to have to go through a chain of command for the larger businesses. So you want to make this list and divide it into 2 businesses. So what businesses do you patronize? So even when we start looking at the MOU packet, the particular clients that I've had that I've helped through sponsorship and through roundup campaigns, we always look at places where they spend their money, because where you spend your money is where your heart is. And we go to these businesses and say, hey, it's an authentic relationship connecting point. It's not something that we have to create. It's an authentic relationship point. It's not something that we have to create. You already spend money with them. So you want to make sure that you actually go through and do the small businesses and the large businesses. And then 4th you want to do is research these companies. So when you're researching these companies, there's some very specific things you need to look for. And inside of your packet, about this, I give a clear worksheet of what you should look for when you're making sure that a brand is complementing your brand. And if it's a company that doesn't do a lot of branding, it's okay. If it's just a t-shirt printing guy that makes the trophies for the little league teams, and you want to go and approach him to do a roundup campaign, and you know, because that makes sense for your brand, then you want to go through a list of things. So here's a few of those questions. Does the company's brand complement your nonprofit branding? What does the company or owner of the company express their philanthropic support for? And how many customers do you estimate this company to service on a daily or weekly basis? And what are this company's weaknesses? Ooh. So you might say, Kirsten, why are you evaluating their weaknesses? Well, the reason why you want to evaluate their weaknesses is because how can you help them become strong in their weaknesses? The number one thing that nonprofits need to understand is you can't just expect to receive without giving. It's unnatural. It is a natural process that we give and then we receive, right? So how can you benefit this company as well as how can they benefit you? And one of the weaknesses that I see the most when we start evaluating the company's weaknesses is their lack of marketing, their lack of branding, their lack of creativity when it comes to their marketing and branding. So when they're a small business, so we can step in and help them get more marketing and branding out there with some really creative ideas, and that don't cost them any money or a lot of money. It might cost them a small amount of money to do a campaign, do a marketing campaign, but not tens of thousands of dollars. It might be a couple $1,000s they can invest, and you can create, a coupon book that you get your little league team to advertise about for their company. The best marketing is a cute kid, right? So, what is the company's weaknesses? Really evaluate their weaknesses and understand that you're going to approach them with the mentality of, I want to help your business while you're helping my business. I'm not just coming to take. I want to come and give. I want to give back to the community, because I say this all the time. Even God had to give to gain humanity. Why don't you think you had to give in order to gain the things that you desire and that you want for your nonprofit? God had to give Jesus Christ in order to gain humanity. He gave his only begotten son that we may receive eternal life. He gave. So you're going to have to give too. So be prepared to give, and don't just give them anything. Give them what they need. So what is the company's weaknesses? Really evaluate their weaknesses, and how can you help strengthen their weaknesses and really stay creative in that area. Also, how would the cause-based marketing campaign look for that particular company? So go ahead and think about the ways that you would run the cause-based marketing campaign for that client, and definitely make sure you tap into the resources that we have inside the consultation portal on cause-based marketing campaign plans. And what do you estimate the company's email list size to be? And then the company's info, the owner name, email name, all the contact information you need, phone number, social media, website, their partners. Really evaluate and begin to research the company that you're approaching. So when you approach them, you won't approach them without understanding their company, without being clear about who they are, what they're doing, what they care about. Okay, so this is going to end part 1 because I wanted to keep these videos. I did them in 2 parts intentionally because it is a lot of information, right? So go through and actually execute. After you get off this video, I need for you to go execute. Go actually sit down, decide how much money. You can do it based off of the MSP calculations that I did for you. Pause the video, do the MSP calculations. Start the video back over. Then make the list of the businesses that you patronize. Think about everywhere you spend money. Go look at your checking account and look at everywhere you spend money. Write down those businesses. Write down those brands that you like. And then also do the research on those companies. Look and see what they do and what their weaknesses are. Go through those questions in the inside of the workbook and actually, execute. The number one thing, I can give you all the information in the world, but if you don't slow down and execute on it, it's not going to mean anything. It's not going to help. And then you're going to say, oh, that video didn't help me. No, you did not execute. So pause the video, go through each one of these steps, complete the step, go to the next one. Set a timer for like 45 minutes, go through each one of the steps, complete the step, and then go to the next one, okay? So you guys, again, text the word consult with your name and email address to 817-807-2873. If you're interested in interviewing to become a Business for Social Change consultant client. And then also you text the word consult to get the free workbook from this video as well. So name and email address, we're going to automatically send you the workbook. And we're also going to automatically send you the application process to become a Business for Social Change consultant client. So we look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a beautiful day.